Hello, I'm Dominic. Today we have the Elite accessory system for the Canon EOS C400. We usually start from our base plate and work our way up. We started off with designing and then 3D printing basic parts. There were some slight design challenges with the idea of lens adapter support. And with that, how do we deal with that without having to make all these different style adapters? We decided to do that by slotting our base plate. So in this case, I'm just gonna flip this upside down. I'll use the first metal prototypes we got. Wooden Camera over the years has made a lot of lens mount adapters. We have our RF to PL adapter. And so with that, I'll show how being able to slide this actually works. Once that is all locked up, we can go ahead and lock down our plate. And so now I have a solid lens mount support as well as our Arca riser. Now, if we went to our base plate system, this pops on, and as you can see on this, we actually have safety systems here. So we have these cutouts on the bottom of this, and there's a safety pin on this. So it pops in and stays on. So there's our base plate, and if we had an airy base dovetail, this can actually slide onto the bottom. And so now you have your base plate system that also supports your lens mount adapter. If you wanted to go to a full studio system, this little plate here can then sit on top of a bridge plate, one of your studio bridge plates. And so now you can go to your 19 or 15 mil studio rods to this base plate and now support this camera. That'll allow you to support the bigger lenses and bigger mount boxes. So there's your base plate system. With any other camera, we have these top plates, right? There's never enough mounting points from any manufacturer of cameras. We wanted something that was very modular, very affordable, very small, but actually meets all of the requirements that you need. So we had the engineers come up with basically a symmetrical design. So this can mount on this side, giving you mount points on the top and on the side, as well as the front of this plate. This makes it very simple because now if you just need to mount things on this side of the camera, you don't need the rest of it. But you can expand it by getting a second one, and it just flips over the top, and now it can mount on the other side. This threaded hole allows us to take the stock tape hook on the camera, either relocate it to the other side or actually mount it to a position on the top plate. The front facing 3/8/16 allows for the use of bolt-on iris rod. This just bolts right to the front of this cheese plate, and that allows you to mount motors to your lenses really simple. You now have a way of mounting those motors off of that top plate and keeping the side of this. So I could leave that side grip on there, and now those rods won't turn because they're actually keyed and located on the top plate. So another part of this design was to pull off the top handle without ever having to take off your plates. Now with this stock carrying handle, we have a top plate for the actual top handle. We're just going to take off this mic mount, this shock mount for the microphone. So now we have a top plate built onto that top handle. So this now gives us the ability that if we wanted to mount a monitor off the front of this, we could do so with an ultra arm. We have mounting points on the back. Again, we can mount transmitters and other things onto the back of this, and we still now have full access to that handle. In the core kit, we actually have this side mount NATO rail. We have a patent with dual safeties on a NATO rail. It's pinned with anti-twist pins, so this allows these things to be located with a single bolt. We can move those pins, like this one here has been configured a different way. I can now mount this way. So this will work in any 1/4-20 configuration that has pinholes. I can mount accessories off of the side of this. They're not dropping down on the side. That leaves it open for side grips. It can be mounted on the top. It can be mounted on the sides. It's all based off of what you need for any given shot. With that being your core kit, what makes it different between core and elite? Elite systems are usually based on the fact that you're doing more studio setups. And now we have a top plate. We have a nice big flat top surface. Let's say instead of bolt-on rods, you wanted to do rod clamps. So now you can mount your range finding devices and so on off of the front of this. We have a top handle. This is our part of our ultra handle system here. And now you got a full-on studio handheld system. Now, if you wanted to mount the EVF to that, we have another adapter here, our EVF adapter to the Ultra handle. Canon came out with these flat square areas that are grooved. This bracket just adapts to that groove system, allowing you, the user, to actually attach Canon accessories onto the wooden camera handles. The one thing that we still need to talk about is power. Included in the Core and in the Elite systems is actually your choice of a battery plate, either gold mount or V-mount battery slides. This battery slide, which was developed for the C300 Mark III, also works on the C400, and these actually adapt to the back of this camera quite easily. We have our power. It comes with our safety dovetail and two 15mm 12-inch iris rods. So we now have power, strong carry handles, strong base plate systems, supported lens mount adapters, DVF. So now you have your full Elite camera system right here, ready to rock and roll. As a accessory manufacturer, we never know what you're going to use the system for. So our best bet is to try to accommodate as many different configurations as possible, allowing you to customize your build based on the fact that you need to change it based on the shot. And that wraps up the accessories for the Canon EOS C400.